What is going on, boys and girls? It has been a while. So, I'll be honest with you. This is my second attempt at a video following Arsenal's 2-1 loss to Bournemouth in the Premier League. And the reason why I'm having another go at it is because I started this channel because I could talk about Arsenal all day, every day, for the rest of my life. And I started the channel because I didn't really have anyone to talk to Arsenal about. My wife didn't want to hear about it, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, and whenever I've got the urge, I'm going to say what I feel like saying about Arsenal, whether that's pre-game, post-game, transfers, things that are going on in relation to the club. This will be my outlet to talk about Arsenal. And so I'm not very consistent. I don't have a setup. I just kind of flick my camera, my phone on when I want to say something, and I say something. And I don't think I've done a video since leading into the Carabao Cup final. And I haven't done a video since then because I really don't know what to say at this point, if I'm being honest. It's ridiculous to think that 4 weeks ago we were in a Carabao Cup final, we were in the FA Cup quarterfinal, we were in the Champions League quarterfinal, we were top of the Premier League, and on paper, you've got people talking about quadruples and possibly the greatest team in Europe. And yet, for the last 2, 3, 4 months, I've been saying fairly consistently that my opinion was that the way we were approaching football games and the form that we were in, I just didn't see how that was going to be sustainable. And I didn't see how we were going to be able to create a historic season. And when I say historic, double, treble, something along those lines. And I hate to be the person who says, I told you so, but I told you so. And that doesn't make me feel good, by the way. I'm absolutely fuming inside. My first video this morning, I was a hothead lunatic, and I finished recording and I'm like, is that really what I want to put out there? Like, do I really want my name attached to just ridiculously angry videos on YouTube that anyone can come across? And the answer was no. So I'm having another go at it. I don't even know where to start. Like, the first thing I'll say is the team, the players, the management, they have royally embarrassed themselves over the last 4.5, 5 weeks. The Carabao Cup final was such a disgraceful performance. This season was all about, the narrative was Arsenal were finally clicking. They were finally going to prove that they are the team that people have been saying they have the potential to be. And Man City was supposed to be kind of in this transition period, which, look, I'm not going to buy into, because if you look at Man City's squad, you look at the players that they've signed, they shouldn't be allowed to get away with that narrative. But the narrative was City was a team in transition with some aging stars, and Arsenal were now in their prime. And so the fact that we went into that final and got absolutely manhandled the way we did was such an embarrassing result. But you kind of, in a way, were like, all right, it's the Carabao Cup final. We can't let it affect us. Let's just move on. It is what it is. And then the international break came, and then you come back to the FA Cup quarterfinal against Southampton, 7th in the championship. Okay, it's away. Yes, it might be a bit tricky, but even with a B team, routine win. They played us off the park. Literally played us off the park. And again, I'm sitting there going, how am I not seeing a response right now? How are these players, after getting humiliated in the Carabao Cup final, everyone in world football is laughing at us, saying we're exactly what everyone said that we are, which is bottle jobs, a team that when it really matters don't show up. How do you come out and produce that type of performance off the back of that Carabao Cup final? So next thing you know, in the space of 2.5 weeks, with that international break in between, we've missed out on the Carabao Cup final and we're out of the FA Cup. 2 of the 4 trophies gone. Like that. And then you go, all right, what can you do? What can you do? Let's have a look at the Champions League. And we managed to get a 1-0 win against Sporting in Lisbon in the first leg. And on paper, again, with this team, which is what we've kind of all been doing all season to try and cope with it, you're like, okay, we got a 1-0 win. Wasn't pretty, but, away, first leg, did a job. Nicked a 1-0 win, take it back to the Emirates, job done. David Raya was the man of the match in that game. We were awful, once again. We were awful. Sporting were the much better team. But okay, we got the win. And then you come back to the Premier League. The one competition where, as an Arsenal fan, you would feel silly not to say, right, this is the one competition where I'm like, okay, this is ours. We should be able to get this one over the line. And again, Carabao Cup final, Southampton, the Sporting Lisbon match, you'd like to think at the very least would give them some kind of confidence boost. And then you go into an early kickoff Saturday in the sunshine at the Emirates, the entire stadium behind you after Arteta's 15th millionth pre-game pep rally of bring your shin pads, bring your socks, bring your lunch, bring your dinner. And by the way, can Arsenal's social media team stop doing these pre-game video drops that they do? It's embarrassing at this point. The hype merchant that goes on from Arsenal social media leading into a game is so embarrassing because we never back up what we say in those videos. They create these unreal, awesome videos, and I get sucked into them every time. I'm like, let's go. Like, come on, this is it. And the team and the way we play is the absolute polar opposite of everything that is said pre-game. And that just further compounds my frustrations at full time because it's like you say all this stuff leading into the game, all this right stuff that you want to hear as a fan that gets you amped for the match. And then you produce what you produce on the pitch. You just create the biggest gap. And it's just embarrassing. And again, what more do these players need? Like, we are 7 games away from the end of the season. You win this match against Bournemouth, you go 12 points clear, and City have a potentially tricky away tie to Chelsea, and you put up that performance. Honestly, people, I've watched every single minute of every single Arsenal game this season. We've had some shockers. This was up there. This was top 3. Top 3. We were awful. Again, in that first 15, 20 minutes, why are we not absolutely 100 miles an hour suffocating Bournemouth and just foot on the throat? Instead, you've got players taking 5 minutes to take a throw in. You've got David Raya on the ball for half an hour. You've got Gabriel and Saliba passing it amongst each other like, I don't know what I'm watching at this point. Everything that we do, I can't make sense of. We play with 0 speed, 0 urgency, 0 passion. We have no attacking threat. Defensively, we look shaky. Every single team seems to rip through our midfield at ease. We can't transition. There is nothing to worry about if you're an opposing side right now playing Arsenal. Our defence is not what it was. Our attack is absolutely dreadful. Teams are playing us and going, we're gonna bop you off the park. And that's what's happening. Bournemouth absolutely dominated us from minute 1 to minute 90. Individuals. Again, I've been saying it for months. Collectively, we are so far below where we need to be. Tactically, the way we're playing style of football, awful. But individually, there are so many players that are either simply not good enough or are so far the level where they need to be. In terms of players that aren't good enough, Kepa, get him out of my club. Or at least keep him on the bench as number 2, and he only comes on if David Raya breaks his leg. Madueke, get out of my club. Kai Havertz, get out of my club. Gabriel Martinelli, bench player, 20 minutes when we're 4-0 up, otherwise get out of my club. Trossard, thank you. You've done a job. Get out of my club. Gabriel Jesus, I don't really know what I'm saying thank you for. Unfortunate about the injuries, but get out of my club. And then in terms of players playing below their level considerably, Ben White. I know you've had injury problems. You used to be one of my favourite players. But in these last few games, you've just proved to me why Jurrien Timber is not only Arsenal's number 1 right back, but he's possibly one of the best right backs in world football. Ben White, I think, is almost at fault for nearly in every game that we've lost since the Carabao Cup final. His positioning, his defensive nous has just completely left him, and he's been awful. Who else? Zubimendi. First couple of months in the Premier League, yeah, looked decent. But if you gave me Thomas Partey right now, I'd bite your hand off. Zubimendi has looked awful. Slow, only passes backwards, gets caught on the ball, off the ball, just awful. Who else? Martin Odegaard. This close to saying get out of my club. This close. 22-23 Odegaard is the only reason I'm not saying get out of my club right now. But what does it even matter because he's been injured all season? Bukayo Saka. The boys carried us for arguably the last 4 or 5 seasons. So he has another season from me. But this season, between injuries and form, pretty diabolical. Gyökeres, I felt sorry for Gyökeres in this match, if I'm going to be honest. I think all season, look, he's not a great player, but I do believe you give him the ball in the right areas and he scores goals, and that's what we bought him for. And this was another game where he was completely isolated, had no service, worked hard, took his penalty well, but until we start playing to his strengths, then it's pointless. The only players this season who, in my opinion, can kind of hold their head up high and kind of, if we're fortunate enough to still kind of win the Premier League, who deserve to put that medal around their necks, is David Raya, Gabriel Saliba, and Declan Rice. They're the only players that I can think of who genuinely deserve to do that. In terms of the game, I don't even know. I'm not even going to go into it, to be honest. We lost 2-1 at home to Bournemouth when we had to win. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. We were just awful. And I haven't for a second thought that we could win the Champions League. You know, the way we're playing at the moment and the way we've been playing for a long time now, there's no way you're beating a Barcelona. I don't even think we could get past Atletico Madrid in 2 matches. PSG, Bayern Munich, absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. So it all comes down to the Premier League. And I was thinking about this today. City will beat Chelsea. They will. Because they know how to win when they have to. So they'll win against Chelsea. If we don't win at the Etihad, and even if we draw, if we don't go to the Etihad and beat them, after everything that's gone on over the last few weeks, after what they did to us in the Carabao Cup final, I actually don't even want us to win the Premier League. I genuinely mean that. If we lose to City and somehow manage to still crawl over the line because they drop points elsewhere and we're able to kind of crawl over, it'll be really hard for me to celebrate that with any sort of real kind of pride. Because if you look at the entire season, City, like you just can't sit there and go worthy champions. And look, I know I'm probably saying that with a lot of kind of anger in me, and that probably doesn't make a lot of sense. But you know what I mean? Like, think about this season. Every time we've played a big team or there's been a moment for us to step up and kind of prove our doubters wrong, we haven't done it. So if we go to the Etihad and once again fail to do anything, then yeah, it's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Like the whole of world football or the English landscape, English football, they laugh at Arsenal. And how can you not? Like, how can you not laugh at Arsenal? We are just a joke of a football club. Arteta, I mean, again, my head's hot, so I'm not really thinking clearly. He's done unbelievable to get us to where we are. But honestly, mate, if you don't win the Premier League in the position that we've come from or that we've been in, he has to go. Because he's had so many chances to prove that he can win something and he just can't do it. He can't do it. Whenever it comes to the crunch moment, in terms of trying to win a trophy, we fail. He fails. And yeah, if the Premier League if we blow up the Premier League, then he just has to go. He has to go. And there's a lot of players in this team that have to go. And it'll be similar to Liverpool, where you're kind of like, you're winning the league and then you're going, we need a bit of a rebuild here. It's the same with us. There's at least 5 or 6, 7 players that I would get rid of tomorrow. Unreal. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. You know, everything Arteta does at the moment is desperate. Like the 3 subs in the 55th minute, Eze, Dowman and Trossard. Like, they come on. Eze. Like, Eze's had moments this season, and I felt like just before the injury he was coming into his groove. But that 30-minute performance he put in yesterday against Bournemouth, like, just walking around, sleepy as hell, no urgency. It's just like, what's the point? Why are you even coming off the bench? Trossard, awful. Dowman, you know, he's 16. We shouldn't be relying on a 16-year-old at this point in the season. You know, it wasn't the greatest cameo from Dowman, but I'm not going to say anything on a 16-year-old. I just don't know where we go from here. Honestly, I can't sit here and tell you that I think we'll beat Sporting Lisbon on Wednesday. Like, on one hand, I want to say how we have to bounce back from that sort of performance. But I said that after the Carabao Cup. I said that after Southampton. As for the City game, I mean it. If they beat us at the City ground, if they beat us at the Etihad, I don't think we deserve it. I couldn't sit here and say we are worthy Premier League champions if we just crawl over the line. Oh, man. To be a football fan. There's other stuff I wanted to say, but I'm kind of just rambling at this point. I'd love to know what you guys think. Like, is your blame on Arteta? Is it on the players? Is it both? Style of play, tactics, energy, attitude. Are we going to win the thing? Are City going to overtake us? Think about it. All season, I can think of maybe 4 games where we've played decent football. Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Tottenham at home, Aston Villa at home are probably the only performances I can think of, or the only games this season where the performance was to a level that got you off your seat, got you excited, and the result reflected it. They're the only games this season where I can think of where we've played well. Anyway, I'm proud of myself. I've stayed fairly calm. I don't think I've embarrassed myself, but yeah. Arsenal Football Club, you have embarrassed yourself. And you've embarrassed us. And you owe us, at the very least, to win this Premier League. But I don't think you will. In fact, I dare you to not win the Premier League. the meltdown across the Arsenal fan base will be like never seen before. And the humiliation from rival fans will be off the charts. So, anyway, have a great end to the weekend, and I will talk to you when I talk to you.